Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I am going to do the collective for today. Today is Thursday. It is May 28th, 2026. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't fit, leave it on the table for someone else. You don't need to take on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use Roses, Dust, and Ashes by Stacey Williams. You can get this at La Penetaire. I think she co-owns La Penetaire with her spouse, I want to say. I don't know for sure. What's funny is I had this deck sitting here all day because I chose it this morning. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to read this." And then I was on the way home and I was like just all of a sudden I was thinking about this and I was like, I think I changed my mind. We're going to free ball it, see what happens. We got 3 on the table. Use your intuition and concern. Use your intuition concerning family issues, family matters. Somebody could have family like rooting for them, praying for them, kind of in the background, whooping and hollering. Like, you're doing such a great job. It could be living family, it could be passed on family. It's just giving energy to me. 4 on the table. Let's do 2 more shuffles. For most of you, it might be someone passed on. Last shuffle. Oh, 5 on the table. 6 with bottom of the deck. So maybe this is why I was called to use this deck. Oh. I think this might be why I was called to use this deck, and this probably won't be that long of a read. Let me just tell you that. 10, 15 minutes top. Oh my God, I'm tired. 11 hours in a warm warehouse. It was nice out today, but the warehouse is warm because nobody ever opens the ceiling vents to let the hot air out and get the cool air in because they're idiots. Been there almost 5 years and none of them know how to work the vents, and they're mechanical, so like they run almost like a fan, I guess. They're supposed to pull in the cold air and push out the warm air, and they used to work great. They actually used to work so great that it was almost like it created air conditioning, like the warehouse was cooling down. Sometimes I wonder if they don't do it on purpose because they're idiots and jerks. We got 6 on the table with bottom of the deck. I walked a little bit. I ate my dinner when I got home. I walked a little bit. I did a little boxing. I'm tired. We got wisdom, and I volunteered for Sunday like a fool. It's okay. The kiddies can always use the extra money. We got family. Safe journey. Guardian. Which makes me think that it's probably somebody passed on. Strength. And time flies. Bottom of the deck. Feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. So I'm going to say a few things that are going to be like cliche because everybody probably feels that way about passed on loved ones. You could have looked at this person as like a tower, like a fount of strength. They could in turn look at you like that from beyond. I also feel like I'm getting two things with the time flies. So one, if they could tell you anything, it would be live in the moment, live in the now, live, because it all goes by so fast. But I also feel like you probably look at it like that after the fact, right? I feel like anytime we lose a loved one and they pass on, we always we always tend to think about the negative, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I didn't talk to them enough. Oh, I didn't go visit them enough. Oh, this, that, and the other. And it's normal to have feelings like that. It's normal to think about stuff like that. But in reality, they're gone. You can't change it. You can't change what you did or you didn't do. There's no reason to beat yourself up about it because it is what it is. You know, you were in the situation you were in, you were living the life you were living. Looking back on all that now and second guessing everything, it's not going to do you any good. I would remember the good stuff, the good times, and pardon me, let the negativity just fall to the wayside, because it really, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're gone, you know. And I know that can be hard to hear, um, but they're gone, and you're still here, and you got to get up every morning and live your life and be a relatively healing person, right? So in my mind, it's just better to look at it from more of a positive perspective. And I think it's easier too as time goes on, because I think when people pass on and it's like right after the fact, you think about, like, the things you didn't do but you should have. And I think as the years go on, you remember more and more of those good memories, and that other stuff just fades away. And I think that's true of like living people too, like people that you fall out of contact with, people that you're no longer friends with, coworkers, lovers, whatever. I feel like as the years go on, you might be healing in such a way that, like, it's more of a fondness when you look back on them, when you look back on situations, rather than, like, oh, I'm so glad that loser left, like, now you're kind of like, oh, I wonder what that loser is doing. Hey, call a spade a spade. I'm just saying. All right, this might go longer than 10 or 15 minutes. I keep yawning. It's going to drive me nuts, I can tell. This person probably watches over you, or uh, so you guys take how it resonates for you, but I'm one of those people that I believe in reincarnation. So I don't claim to know how the system works, but I would imagine that you pass on, there's so much of a waiting period, or not, and you come back as somebody else. You're reincarnated as someone else. The thing is energy is always there. So even though, like, they're gone and they might have even come back already, you're still looking at energy that's there. Now, how long is that going to last for? I don't know. And I think that probably would depend on the person that passed. I think it would depend on their kind of mindset, like, and I think it kind of depends on, sorry, I was just, my ears. I don't know if that was like a crusty or if that was my actual earring falling apart. Because that was like kind of solid. That was weird. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's just, it's gonna annoy me. Like somebody could stick around in the afterlife, for maybe, 6 months, right? And then, 2 years later, when you lose a friend, maybe they only stick around for a month and then they're reincarnated. Their energy lasts as long as it lasts. So, if they were still here for a month after, but now they're gone, I mean, how long do you think that energy lasts? That, I want to say bubble. I don't know why I want to say bubble. Bubble of energy. Now I'm picturing my cat. A couple months, maybe a year at the most, maybe. Because you also got to figure it's what you pick up on too. If you're intuitive, if you're psychic, if you tap into that kind of stuff, like you're gonna pick up on it long after they're gone. But for how long? Like when does it finally fade away? And I feel like it's different for everybody. And I also feel it like it depends on us. Because even though like my grandmother has been, she'll be gone 5 years. No, she'll be gone 4 years this year. And my grandfather has already been gone 5 years because he died like a year and a half ish before my grandmother did. Um, what's funny is I didn't feel her energy for that long after, but to this day I still feel his. Like I still feel like he's here. Poor little kitty. What are you doing? I think it's a kitten. Well, a kitten, but an older kitten. I think that depends on the person's, the strength, how do I say it, like their aura when they were alive. Because like my grandfather had a pretty big personality, very strong person, very blunt, very matter of fact, very smart man. Not that my grandmother wasn't smart either, but I just think I think her energy was a little more lighter, a little more, I wanted to say flippant, but like I didn't feel her energy for that long after. But I feel like even today, I still feel like he's around, you know? And it's funny because I was watching a reading by one of my favorite readers, and she did like a passed on reading. And it was either for Gemini or Virgo. I haven't been watching Aries lately, even though I was watching Aries for my Aries moon. Like I just haven't been resonating with it. The funny thing is today I watched one of my favorite readers. He ended up doing readings really early this morning. And I watched Gemini and I didn't feel like it resonated. But then I watched Virgo and I watched Aries and I was like, oh, that resonates. I feel like it's I feel like it's the time of day, it's the reader, it's how you feel because yeah, the last week and a half, 2 weeks, Aries readings just have not resonated for me. And I always, for some reason, I always feel like during retrograde, I resonate more with Aries and Virgo than I do with Gemini. And we're in Gemini season right now. And right now, I'm not resonating with Gemini either. It makes no sense to me. Anywho, I think like any loved one that passes over, if they're looking from the other side, right? I think anyone would wish a safe journey on their remaining family that's here. That they would hope that they garnered some type of wisdom from them while they were here and that they live their life accordingly. I don't know who this is going to resonate for, but like somebody wants someone to be more like more protective of their own energy. Like someone feels like not like they have to watch over somebody all the time, but like they feel like someone should be more protective of their energy. Like someone is a little too like a little too giving like right off the shoot. This would be like, meeting somebody and then like literally that day you think you and this other person are getting so along so well, you're like, hey, you want to be friends, hey, you want to come hang out at my house, hey, I'm going to a party this weekend, you want to come with, it's like getting entrenched in connections that maybe should be a little bit more thought out before you jump in, because it's kind of giving the energy of like why did you get involved? Couldn't like didn't you see this before? Like didn't you pick up on this beforehand? Again, that's just going to depend on how intuitive and or psychic someone is. And I'm just going to say this. I know that wasn't for me because no one could be more protective of their energy than me. No one. You guys, it's different. Like I don't ever really feel like you guys are, sorry, my ears are itching, which hopefully is a good thing. Um no offense, it's just you're not here. Like when I go to work, I feel a drain on energy. Not every day, not all day, but I definitely do. Like it's exhausting sometimes. And I have another story to tell, and I don't even know if I should tell it because it's getting to the point. This is why for like months and months, me and the guy that I was in love with last year, I was so glad that for months and months and months, we hardly saw each other. Like if we were both picking, I was at one end and he was at the other. If we were both packing, which I think only happened like 3 times since we stopped talking to each other last year. Like he was all the way on one side and I was on the other. I swear to God, I completely forgot when I went back to work today after being off yesterday that our regular boss who's been there was on vacation and we have the new guy. Like it's just him and our lead. And he's not ready. He's just not ready. Like, and I know they can't tell her to not go on vacation. She had her vacation planned probably last year when everybody else put in for their vacation because that's what we do there. But like he should not have been left alone. Like he should have somebody there with him all day to kind of show him the ropes. Um the thing is I don't even really know that anybody would know the ropes as good as our supervisor that went on vacation or the lead. And again, the lead is there. So it's not like he's not trying to help and trying to do his job. It's just a lot of running around like a chicken with your head cut off because they have to oversee the packing area and they have to oversee the picking area. And then I've said before, like we are constantly loaning out our people to other departments, even though we need our people. And today, I'm pretty sure they loaned out like 1 or 2 people. Hello. Anyway, yeah. I ended up being on his station that he was on Tuesday when we were next to each other. And he wasn't even on the list to go anywhere today. So it was probably like a little snafu. So the new manager, the new supervisor put him like 3 stations down. Well, then one of my friends, one of the girls I talked to at work, one of the young ladies, he put her next to me. The thing is I was the last station on Rampack. He was the last station on Rampack on Tuesday. that next station, they had it set up for ramp pack. They had a cart back there and boxes and everything, but it's not a ramp pack station. Like there's no tables to put your boxes on, nothing. So he had her log off and go down to where the guy was, and then the guy came on the other side of me just like on Tuesday and was picking for probably about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, until our lead came in and said, "Hey, you need to go somewhere else because you're not supposed to be here." And I think he was the one that got loaned out to one of the other departments. But it was funny because that hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, he was quiet. Now he wasn't doing rampack. He was doing totes and bins and stuff. But he was quiet. He didn't say anything. I didn't feel like he was watching me. Like he seemed like he was concentrated on his work. It made me feel a little bit more easy. So I was concentrating on my work and I was doing the boxes, and then the lead came up and told him like, "Hey, like I need you to run out, I need you to log out, and I need you to go downstairs," or something. He said something like that. And the guy that I was in love with last year turned around and looked at him. And this is the first time I've ever seen him do this. Okay. He's here's the thing. He is typically like a quiet person, like a very emotionally regulated person, which is why on Tuesday when he seemed like he was so angry that he had to pick next to me, like why? you know? So he turns to the lead today and he goes, "No, I was in packing yesterday." He's like, "I'm supposed to be in picking today." He did not want to leave. He did not want to leave the station. He put up a fuss with the lead, and the lead's like, "Look, like they need help down there and you know what to do down there. So like you're going." And I mean, he could have went to the new supervisor and said something, but the new supervisor doesn't know, so he's gonna defer to the lead because if our supervisor that was on vacation was there, she might have let it slide. She might have let him stay there. She might have. But I pretended like I wasn't paying attention, but I was like, "Oh, okay, like he's putting up a stink. Like go downstairs. What do you need to be here for? You put up such a fuss about picking next to me on Tuesday, slamming stuff around, acting like a spoiled brat. But now all of a sudden we're next to each other again today, and now all of a sudden you're fine with it and you don't want to leave." I, I was just like, oh, the best thing did happen today though. I had nominated a fellow employee in our department last month, and he won for Employee of the Month. I wrote a really good recommendation letter for him, and he won. And I did one for one of the other guys who is a friend of the guy I was in love with last year. I wrote a recommendation letter for him this month and he won, and they announced it today. I was like, "Yay!" Because there's another guy. I'm debating on whether I should nominate him. Like, I want to nominate him, but so here's the thing, me nominating these two guys for Employee of the Month for some reason, and I think I told you guys this with the guy last month. The guy that I was in love with, the two friends that I'm no longer the two female friends I'm no longer friends with, and their whole little clique from our department. When the guy won last month, like they literally all turned from the table to look at me because my name was up on the board saying that I nominated him. Today, when I nominated the guy that is actually good friends with the guy I was in love with, I was up at one of the front tables, closer to the wall, closer to where they have the TVs with where they put all the stuff on so you can look at it through the meeting. But I turned around to look at one of the managers that was doing the announcements, and when they announced my name, I knew that my pick won, right? So I was like, and I turned around to look at the guy because he used to be our boss, our boss's boss. They were all sitting at a table in the back and they were all staring at me. Like I had 4 heads. And the thing is it is a little side bonus that I nominated these 2 gentlemen and they won, and it irritates them. But I really nominated them because they don't get recognition. They don't get increased pay. They get treated like donkeys. They get asked to stay late. They get asked to do extra work. They don't pay them for that. They're just expected to do it in the hopes that one day they might get promoted. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. There's no reason on earth why someone shouldn't have nominated for them for Employee of the Month. Seriously. They're going to get $100, like $80 after taxes. Like, that's not even enough, for what they're doing for them, for our department. But yeah, I got dirty looks today, but I was excited because I'm glad he won. He deserves it. And it was funny because he started dating one of the girls in our department. So I went up to her and I was like, "What is his last name? I can't remember." And she goes, "What do you need that for?" And I was like, "Well, don't tell him. I mean, you can tell him, but don't tell him." I said, "I'm going to nominate him for Employee of the Month." And she goes, "You are?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she gave me his name and his employee number and stuff like that. So I nominated him. I don't know if she ever told him or not. He didn't come up to me. He was busy doing all the Rampack robots and stuff throughout the day. So he didn't come up to me and say anything. He probably won't anyway, because he's in the clique with them, like they all have each other brainwashed over there. But I'm glad he won though. He deserves it. He really does deserve it. He's like 18, 19. He got his CDL last year, I think, or the beginning of this year. He got his CDL. I don't even know why he's still in our department. Like, he should be looking for another job somewhere. And maybe he is. Maybe he just can't find anything. I don't know. But he deserves it. He works his ass off. And that was my good news. And that was my news about the guy. Oh, and then I think my good work friend, my good friend, who I always talk to outside of work, I think she's pissed at me. I have a good idea why she's pissed at me, but like, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. But I'm just gonna let her stew. I'm just not gonna say anything. I've been going out for my breaks and my lunches since she went on her vacation like 3 weeks ago. So I told her, like, this is how it's gonna be for the summer. Like, I'm gonna go out there probably rain or shine. I don't want to sit in the break room all day. I just don't. It's like depressing in there. It's not even like the energy is off, or like, the people, like, it's not even really that. It's just, it's a work break room. Like it's nice out. Like, I want to go sit outside. And I was telling one of the guys today, because he walked by and he's like, "Oh, you're sitting outside," and I had my shoes off with my bare feet, and he goes, "Oh, you like the sun, huh?" And I said, "I'm like a plant. I need the sun." But yeah, she's mad at me for something. I don't know if it's that. I think it's another reason, which again is still ridiculous. Anywho, I went off on a tangent for 11 minutes, 12 minutes. Is somebody okay? So if you have a recently passed on loved one, somebody's gonna get signs about their journey. Like, it's giving like somebody being unsure, like where they're headed in life, and somebody's gonna send somebody some like little signs to kind of be like, "Hey, this is where you're going. This is like, you're on the right path, you're on the wrong path." Like, somebody's gonna get like little signs. I just heard it could be birds or squirrels. Something about like maybe bigger, like I want to say land animals. All animals are on land other than fish and sea mammals. Um, Squirrels or like I'm picturing like deer. I'm picturing like deer. And and you know, okay, so you guys know how like that kind of stuff works. Like you like if you're driving along and you're thinking something, right? You're having a thought and you see like your favorite animal, let's say a deer. You see a deer. That's confirmation for whatever you're thinking. If you're driving along and you're thinking something and you see a skunk and you don't like skunks, that's confirmation that like something is wrong, like something is not quite right. You know what I'm saying? But somebody might be receiving some signs. And don't tell me why wasn't there wasn't there a Dr. Pepper song, like a Dr. Pepper commercial with a Dr. Pepper song? Because I feel like I'm hearing that in my head, but I'm not hearing the Dr. Pepper part. I'm a root beer girl, so not that I don't like Dr. Pepper, I do. It's just I'd rather have root beer. All right. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I bothered you enough with my stories. Um, I hope it resonates for somebody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you were entertained. I hope everybody has a lovely evening. I will talk to you later. Bye.